So we have another update from Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez makes another call from prison. Remember, we just reacted to one a couple days ago where Tory Lanez calls from prison, gives us an update, and he says, I have more information that will come out soon regarding the DNA test. Remember that? He talked about that. It looks like that's what he delivered. I'm super excited to hear what he has to say. Also, we heard Tory Lanez say his lawyer will go to the courthouse, I believe, on May 8th to fight for a new trial. So we're still not there. We're still not there, but I'll update you guys on the 8th on what happens. But we did get the phone call, and it looks like he has more to say regarding what happened with the actual DNA test on his case. And if you guys recall the DNA test, they said it was inconclusive, which they couldn't find his DNA, but it doesn't mean that I guess it wasn't on there. But not finding somebody's DNA in 2023 on a weapon that was supposedly fired, and it was his weapon. Also, the witness saw the muzzle come off of the female near the vehicle. So now the witness is saying he saw the muzzle over there. Story's crazy. Girls fought, but they're both saying that they never fought. Shorty's saying she's lying on the tape. Like, how do you give somebody guilty out of all this? Like, it just makes no sense to me. This case was all over the place. It should have been a mistrial. That's what I believe. But all we can do is don't get demotivated, continue to fight, continue to go to the end. I believe Tory at the end. I believe if the justice system is really something they say that we should trust in as being black and Hispanic men, then let's see. Let's see now, because we just seen a case in front of our face fall apart, and the man at the end still got guilty, which to me makes no logical sense. The woman that you guys played the tape of for 2 hours, saying he shot, he jumped around, he was ripping people's hair, this and that and the third, came back and said, before you guys play that, everything I said on that tape was cap. But they still use it in court, and that, I believe, was a dagger in the heart to put him in. Let's see what he has to say about the DNA.
Been incarcerated for almost half a year over a gun at the DA's life.
2 days before Christmas, I believe. 2 days before Christmas. That was another sad thing, seeing his son crying like crazy, and then also knowing Tory would not be home for the holiday.
I said I shot. In 2021, they demanded I take a DNA test. I took that test with no pushback, delay, or question. Not only because I knew I never shot the gun, but mainly because I was 100% positive I never even touched this gun. In my trial, the verdict of guilty or innocent depended heavily on my DNA results. With the help of LA Crime Lab's DNA expert Randy Zepeda, DA Kathy Tarr, and Alex Bott completely manipulated my DNA results and lied to the world, the media, and most importantly, my jury, by stating my DNA on the gun was inconclusive. That was an absolute lie. They went on further to say, inconclusive means that he cannot be excluded from the gun.
New attorney Jose Baez hired one of the best.
That is what I recall. See, so they're saying like inconclusive because everybody was cheering, going crazy. That's when Ack was saying that his DNA was not in the gun. Then the Meg fans came back like, no, it was inconclusive. It doesn't mean that it wasn't on there. They just couldn't find it. What? With all the technology we have today, you can't find somebody's DNA on a weapon. I would take that as in he didn't hold the weapon.
DNA experts in the nation to carefully analyze the same DNA test the fair and correct way. The results came back exactly as I knew this whole time. My DNA is 100% excluded and 100% eliminated from the gun. In other words, it's physically and scientifically impossible for me to ever have touched or shot this gun. After the correct and careful analyzation of my DNA test, not only did our expert find my DNA 100% excluded and non-existent on the gun, but what's worse was the invalid and illegal tactics the prosecution chose to attain the results used to convict me. Based on the fundamentals of my DNA test, the only possible way for the LA Crime Lab to come up with an inconclusive result would literally be to stop the testing before it finished or completed its final result, which would have and should have shown completely my full exclusion on the weapon. In other words, District Attorneys Kathy Tarr and Alex Bott lied to my jury with false, incorrect, and incomplete DNA results.
I didn't know that. You see, I'm not a DNA expert.
So he's saying the only way that could have actually shown inconclusive was if they did not finish doing the test to try to find his DNA on. That's a little scary. So that maybe it could even be that they did the test first. It was 100% not there. They said, all right, let's do it again and just do inconclusive. That won't hurt our case at all. This is all alleged. Not a DNA expert. I'm just going by the words of Tory Lanez. If that is what they did, that is dirty. That is disgusting. But are we shocked that a prosecutor did not really care about the innocence of a man but wanted to win on their case? Are we shocked? Let me know down below.
Violating my due process and my 14th Amendment rights. My faith, my prayers, and my highest hopes go to the Honorable Judge Hereford that on May 8th, he rules in favor of the United States Supreme Court law, returning me to my freedom, my family, and most importantly, the justice of a fair trial.
And I believe DNA always comes back, as much as I don't want to say this, to our people. A lot of cases we see people were guilty in 80-something for a murder they never did, a robbery they never did, and then we see that they're released 45 years later because DNA was not available back then. It's available now. Their DNA was nowhere on the case. They free them and they give them like a little $1 million, which I don't believe 20 years of my life is worth $1 million. But that's what we see from time after time. So the fact that we see once again, even in today's time, which I thought it wouldn't be that possible, inconclusive DNA, and DNA once again, Tory screaming innocent, 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 and DNA might be behind again, another innocent man behind bars from our community. It just breaks my soul. Even if he gets 7 years, he's still gonna have the fans like me. But I believe the mainstream where he was going with all the Instagram lives and all that stuff, that's pulled out the water. Also, he will be deported back to Toronto. So this is why he has to fight this trial and try to get not guilty. Because if he's guilty and it's like, yo, you only got 5 years, serve your time. It's not about that. It's about the end of the time that he served. Even if he's granted with the time he's serving right now, which I believe he would be, I'm not too sure. But even if he is, it's the deportation at the end and not being allowed back in the United States that would really ruin his career. Again, more information from Tory Lanez. What do you guys believe? I believe DNA not being on a weapon is already like 80% already of not guilty. Like in my mind. With all the other information we've seen so crazy in this case with the DNA not being on there, I would have said a mistrial. I would have said not guilty. Those are the only two things that I can think. As a juror, they would have never picked me because they would have brought my YouTube channel back. Like, nah, he's being biased. But I'm not. Just due to the evidence, just sitting back, again, we give every case a fair trial, and then we do our assumptions at the end. I also tell you guys, if you feel differently of how I feel throughout these videos, please let me know down below. Sometimes we could put each other on. Sometimes you may say something that I didn't know, or you might agree with me and still give me more information that I can argue with another fan later on down the road. This is touchy. This is scary. But you guys got to let me know what you feel about this. Are you guys excited for May 8th to see what Tory Lanez's team can do? Let me know down below. All we can do is pray. Free Tory.